This is about $110 worth of meat that I got for approximately $55. My local store was having a sale and top sirloin was on sale for $4.98 a pound. So what I did was ask the butcher for the whole thing so I can break it down myself and have a bunch of different stuff with nothing going to waste. The first thing I'm going to do is fat side up over here, okay? Look what we're doing. There's a little piece of fat right there in the front. All you have to do is use the tip of your knife and just kind of push it out of there. Then you're going to see a little bit of silver, a little bit more fat. Just clean this thing up as nice as possible. You'll understand when you're doing it how much needs to come off. You don't really need to dig into it. Just get all the surface stuff out of there. Then after you trim that stuff off the top, it's time to take the picanha out of there. You just pull, stretch, and these two muscles will separate and you'll be able to take it apart. This thing's kind of looking like a tri-tip. It has kind of a triangle, 3 different sides to it. Save it and we're going to fix that up later. Next, you can leave all this fat on as well and just cut steaks, but I'm going to trim this up real nice. I'm going to use all the trim for some stir fry, for some skewers, for some ground beef, all sorts of stuff. Now right here, the bottom, you're going to see a little seam right there. This is going to be your baseball steaks. You can cut the steaks how they were, but we're going to break this apart and get some small steaks and some bigger steaks. Find that seam, cut this down, and then go ahead and even this baby out, trim it up, and then just cut these steaks as thick or as thin as you want. This is the petite sirloin right here. This is the money shot. People love this piece. It reminds them of like a little baby filet mignon. Put those to the side, then we're going to cut the rest of this thing. You got to look at both sides here. There's going to be a little mouse at the bottom. This thing that's kind of hanging off there, just take it off now and throw it to the side. Use it in your grind. It'll be helpful later. Then clean the rest of it off. All right, I went from a boning knife to a scimitar because I need a little bit more length on my knife to get through this thing. Again, we're just cutting them into steaks as thick or as thin as you want right here. This last piece right here has a ton of gristle, so you just kind of want to work around it, get the lean piece out of the middle, use that as a steak, and then the rest of it you can trim up for your stir fry or your grind or whatever else you got. Next, we're going to be onto this picanha. There's 2 sides to this. There's the silver skin side, which is this side right here. You want to get this off of there. It's going to be really quite chewy, and you really don't want to deal with it. Everybody doesn't like it, okay? Just trust me. After that's off, the other side is going to be filled with fat, but you really don't want to take that off because that's what's going to keep this picanha nice and juicy and nice and tender. I'm going to score it and put it to the side so we can marinate it a little bit later. Now, for some of these odds and end pieces, this is what we're doing here. We're going to cut this up. Here's the stir fry, or we're going to make these little meat sticks and then grill them up, marinate them. Everybody loves those things. There's not going to be any waste here. We're going to separate everything. This is going to be my ground beef pile right here, okay? I'll take all the lean meat, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of fat until it's about the right consistency that I want. You can take it to the scale if you want, get about 80% lean meat to about 20% fat for the perfect burger, but I'm going to eyeball it because I've done this a couple of times. On to the rest of this stuff. Again, we're getting the rest of this stir fry. You can make this into stew, kebabs, whatever you want. This is a ton of good meat. Sirloin can be used for absolutely anything. All this stuff just got trimmed up in a matter of minutes. Now look at all this meat. I got the picanha. I got 4 of these big old steaks, okay? I got 4 of these little guys. We're good to go, baby. Follow me down.